Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. We're going to be doing a couple pack openings, primarily of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, maybe occasionally Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, but sticking primarily with Yu-Gi-Oh because it's the game in which I'm most familiar with. We'll do some openings of random assortments of cards, packs, whatever we can kind of get our hands on throughout the course. Today, we've got two random assortments of 100 card lots purchased off of eBay. We're assuming they're going to be real. We don't actually know. It dropped probably $10 or so a pack. There's going to be a couple rares, allegedly, maybe a secret rare, super rare, ultra rare. But we'll get to that point when we get there. But let's take a look at them and see what we've got and see if these were actually worth what they say they were worth. Starting first, we'll open up this first pack. As you can see, there is a card sleeve here on it. So there's at least something that the seller has considered to be worthy of a sleeve. So without ado, let's get this thing open and see what we can get out of here. Try not to spoil any of the cards. Gotta love the sound of the plastic crinkling. All right, let's take this card and set it aside for now while we take a look and see what we've got here. All right, so our first card, we've got actually a ultra rare card, it looks like, called Super All In. It is a first edition, and it's coming with a synchro summon, and you can return a synchro summon monster from your hand or that you control back to your extra deck. Gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not familiar with the synchro summon process. Kind of watched this show back in the day, right as Yugi was finishing up kind of the Battle City arc, dueling against Merrick, with the whole, again, the Winged Dragon of Ra was the big card at that time. The whole, only someone who could read ancient Egyptian was able to play and control the monster. And I think that was the blonde-haired lady, Mai, something like that. She was the one, she tried to use it and discovered that, and Merrick laughed in her face about it. But overall, not a pretty bad card. Nice, got a good bit of a glare on it from the holographic background. Definitely a neat little card here. We'll have to learn a bit about synchro summoning, and we see that it is first edition, and we've got the gold right here, little gold Millennium Eye feature. It's kind of what we know. First edition prints have a gold Millennium Eye down in the bottom right hand corner. So pretty nice card overall. Definitely will have to learn a bit about this for sure. Second card, actually, you know what, we'll get this since this is a first edition and is a rare. We'll go ahead and slide this into a top loader here if we can manage to do so without too much difficulty. All right. And there we go. Pretty good overall. All right, Galaxy Worm. Another one of these ultra rare cards. We're going with ultra rare in first edition based off of the gold name here. Hopefully we can see the shine on it there along with the gold background. First edition as well, came out of the same pack as Galaxy Worm, or as the Super All In. Definitely not familiar with this card, seeing it's coming out of a 2020 pack. Something. So we'll slide this one as well into a top loader. And then our final one here, we've got another ultra rare card. This is a Link monster. Again, if I missed the synchro summon sequence, I'm definitely not familiar with how the Link monsters work overall. Definitely an interesting concept. We're going to have to do a lot more learning of how this game is played. I think back in the day, the primary way that we played was kind of similar to the initial Pegasus arc, where you just could summon monsters at will and take down your opponent's life points and not actually have to do any sacrifices or any of the fancy features. I know that Synchro came around in the anime version around Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. A lot of that Elemental Hero ones, Jaden or something, I think the guy's name was. Again, a lot of catching up to do in that sense of the game, but very nice kind of design arc. It's a Pliancer Kappa scale, and I'm a big fan kind of this back artwork. We kind of have a really decent rainbow hollow effect there. Again, first edition, and we do have our gold embossed seal as well. So we'll grab a top loader real quick. So seeing as all these rare cards are actually on the bottom of the deck, I'm really interested to see what's in that sleeve. And you guys will have to forgive me. Top loaders are fresh out of the box, so definitely good, but we want to protect these rares in particular of all kinds. So we have some top loaders. We've got a pack of just normal sleeves as well to slip them into. So let's take a look and see what's in this nice blue card sleeve. It's the only thing that came sleeved. So we were promised rares and a couple super rares here and there, maybe an ultra rare or two in the description on eBay. So we've got either probably maybe a mosaic rare, starfoil, ghost, or maybe a secret rare. Who knows what we're going to see on the other side of this packet. So let's turn it over. And we've got Magician of Black Chaos Max, a very limited edition monster. This is an old card, Magician of Black Chaos. I believe from back in the day was a ritual summon monster that Yugi used in his final duel with Pegasus. I've never heard of the Max version of it, but this is a unique little card here. It is actually a limited edition print, and we've got what may be a mosaic looking pattern. I don't know if you guys can see that on the back emblem there. Trying to shine through it a little bit. Very powerful card. Of course, Yugi was very big on using magicians, spellcaster type monsters. Obviously, Dark Magician being his go-to back in the day. I think my first starter deck I bought, I went with the Kaiba deck. Just, obviously everyone went with that primarily for Blue Eyes. And, you had the Flutist Summoning Dragon and Lord of Dragons in that deck as well. That allowed you to pull Blue Eyes out pretty much as quickly as you possibly could. The Yugi deck was a lot more, I guess, tactical. You had to kind of know how to use all the cards. And like I said, we kind of played the game a little bit like people play Pokemon back in the day when you first get the Game Boy game. The only stat you care about is reducing your opponent's HP to 0. So we'll take this card as well. We'll swap it out of the sleeve that it is in and move it into a top loader. Very nice looking card. Of course, being a ritual monster, we're going to obviously need the ritual to summon Magician of Black Chaos in the end, as well as the whatever component monsters we would need to activate that ritual. So let's go ahead and take this out and slip it on over into the top loader here, just for additional protection. I do appreciate the guy that I bought him off of on eBay forecasting and putting in items into protective sleeves. you don't really get that. And as you put in the protective sleeve, I can actually see a little bit more of a mosaic kind of type of pattern here. Kind of hard to tell being new back into the game when I first was buying cards as a kid. Rares, super rare, and ultra rare were kind of your only items. These secret rares, ultimate rares, weren't common items, and you weren't likely to pull them. And I think maybe in my entire time buying packs as a child, I think I pulled one or two ultra rares total. I got a piece of Exodia, and I think I pulled from the Legend of Blue Eyes set, I believe it was Freed the Matchless General. So a very, very minor knowledge overall. So a nice card in the end. I do believe this is what's considered to be mosaic. Let me know in the comments if you have a better way of identifying what they are other than just pure guesstimation. Then rest of the cards are going to be primarily base monsters, a few here and there that are rares in the end. So we've got Warm Barses here, a limited edition effect monster. And then you can just basically look at this effect. I mean, that's a pretty useful effect for a 3-star monster requiring no sacrifice. And you can force somebody to flip their monster over into the attack position, maybe do some damage. So if you've got a heavy hitter on the field, it could be a really useful card in the end. We're going to set this aside since it is a rare, just only holographic art on the back. So you can see that nice shiny mosaic. I probably shouldn't use the word mosaic, but that shiny holographic artwork in the background there, overall. Got 4 arms, so kind of looking a little bit like Shiva, the Destroyer in this situation. Very interesting, very nice artwork. And again, a 3-star monster pack and 1,400 attack points that you can force monsters into attack position. You had this out here with a Blue Eyes or some sort of heavy hitter monster. To wipe that out, you can get a good strike on life points with that card coming up right afterwards. Then we have a first edition Ally of Justice Unlimiter. Again, going to be used to summon other Ally of Justice monsters that you can control. And then again, we've got this nice artwork, holographic in the background in the end. A new monster that I am not familiar with. Hopefully this guy threw in some things that I'm actually familiar with from back in the day. Maybe a man-eater bug or something. But again, we've got a lot to do, a lot to learn coming back into this. And then we have Mermail Abyss Lead. Who knows how we actually are going to say that in the end. This card, very, very nice artwork, I think, overall. Reminds me of, there was a 3rd season of Digimon Monster. There was a Mega form that kind of looked like this, which is kind of funny. But again, very nice overall. Pretty strong card. Going to require some sacrifices. Obviously, that is that effect down there. You can play a little bit with it to get some items in, but you got to discard monsters, water type monsters, and it's going to be a little bit difficult if you're not playing a water based deck. But again, not going to give you guys any strategies on how to duel because everyone who watches this video could kick my butt at it. So we're just looking at the artwork, getting back into it, and seeing how things go. Then we have Flamval Dragonov. Very nice looking card in the end. Honestly, can't tell you where it's going to be. Lots of effect monsters. And pretty nice overall. We have Worm Apocalypse here. Good flip monster, so taking out a spell or trap card can really help you out. I know there's a lot of dangerous trap cards in the game, especially in the modern era where we have tons and tons of series. Even back in the day, there was plenty that were potentially disastrous if your opponent had them on the field. Probably goes along pretty well. Looks like our seller here is setting up us for a worm-based deck. So we had Worm Barsis earlier, Worm Apocalypse now. So we've got probably a good set of items here that would kind of play along well with these. So let me know if you think there's anything useful here. Build a strategy out of these cards. All right, we've got Ally of Justice Garrett Hogg, or Garrod Hogg. Again, we had an Ally of Justice Unlimited monster at the beginning here. Another limited edition, rare. Got a good holographic bit of light there. We see if you go over here, we got a light actually shining, kind of giving us a little extra flare. So sorry for blinding you guys there, but we wanted to be able to get enough just to see all the colors and artwork. Very nice overall. The best thing about this is I'm liking these cards that come from 1996. They're a lot closer, so there's a lot less random, additional special decks and extra decks and synchro summon and link summon and pendulum and all these fun things that got into, and we have no clue what they are. All right, another worm monster, Worm Dimocles. Again, flip effect monster. They kind of all seem to have a flip effect on them. Nice design in the end. Kind of a creepy looking card. You wouldn't want to run into that thing in the night. But again, looks like we're being set up for some sort of worm-based deck. And we actually have another Worm Dimocles here. And I want to take a look at these to see if there's maybe any sort of difference overall. They don't appear to be different. So I don't know if there are any different variations. Again, they were a random assortment, so that's a little bit funny. But hey, that's the fun of the battle. We're all here just to play with the original loot boxes, being Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh card packs. We have two back-to-back X-Saber Urus. Nice little nifty Beast Warrior monster here. I'm noticing that there's a lot of power creep on attack points, it seems, these days. You got a lot of monsters that even, without tribute summons are packing just a ton of attack. Very useful. I think the most powerful normal based monster with no synchro or no tributes that I needed back in the day was the Celtic Guardian, or some little elf. Yugi used it all the time in the anime. All right, we got our first quick action spell card here called Set Rotation. You see just the name is foil. So we do only have just a basic rare here in the end. No holographic background art, but some creepy clown witches sitting there. All right, our next rare card is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Coyote. That is an absolute nightmare of a name. Just imagine if they played that in the anime, that duel with Pegasus with Yugi, taken 5 episodes to start with, would have taken another 6 if every monster had a name like this. All right. We've got Jet Synchron, an anthropomorphic or humanized personified jet engine. Kind of ironic considering I think in the news recently we had a jet engine fall apart and fall on people. So maybe a bit insensitive on this one. But this is going to be one of our first non-rares that we've opened here today. See, nothing going on. And you want to note this is a tuner monster. So tuner monsters I know are related somehow to synchro summon, but can't explain how or don't know how. Again, not here to give you guys tips on how to win. And then, here's a name and a half right here. Zubabancho Gagagakot. I think we'll just name him Zuba Gaga and leave that short, because that's a hell of a name right there. Allows you to summon other monsters with those abbreviations or those conglomerations of letters and sounds to your field when you're in play, except for ones that share Mr. ZG here's name. All right, now we'll just kind of cycle through all the non-rares a little bit. They're not as exciting. This is a little cartoony synchro monster, or tuner monster for synchro summon. We'll see a hero lives. All right, everybody on the internet go crazy, right? Dark Magician Girl. Everybody's favorite spellcaster, probably. I think this one gets a lot of internet fame, so to speak, for certain reasons. But you guys know that. So just don't be doing any of that on this channel here. All right. Goofy little Karibo. Again, I think a lot of people made fun of Karibo. It's one of those monsters that's just a little goofy. And there were some anime episodes that gave it a little bit more power than what it should have, kind of made it more important. Got a trap card here, double payback. Looks like King getting attacked here. We'll call it the French Revolution card. And then we've just got a couple just base monsters. Nothing here that I've recognized as being something from back in the day that I've ever had or ever played in a deck. This basic insect looks like something that Bug Guy in the anime would have used, probably did. There's our Smog card, Dragon Treasure, hoarding some items here. Very funny in the end. All right, Frenzied Panda, Angry Kung Fu Panda. Ooh, Brute Water. I remember this card. Nothing spectacular about it. Play well in a water deck to help you out with any things that require water monsters to be sacrificed. But again, nothing spectacular there. M Warrior number 2. I remember there's a couple sets of M Warriors. Don't know what they actually do or what they actually end up being. Never ever got to that point. Oh, we have another rare slipped in here. Armed Ninja. Actually a nice looking card in the end. Ooh, Watch Cat. This cat right here, he's just chilling next to the fire, loafing. Obviously, cats like heat and like to chill. It's a pretty fun card. I know a lot of people who like cats, and it's a meaningful one for this channel. We might have to keep it up, make it our logo or something. All right, first of the dragons. It's a fusion monster. Don't know where its conditions. I don't see any requirements of what ones you're actually supposed to fuse to get there. So that's a little bit interesting. I was under the impression that all fusion monsters listed who you needed. All right, little cicada monster, tuner. Got a couple trap cards here. Blockman, just a couple anthropomorphic Legos. Marshmallow, I remember this card. It's a very goofy little design. Probably a ripoff or knockoff of a Ditto or something from Pokemon. You can only design so many monsters. Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. Very nice looking card. Stats are flipped of Blue Eyes White Dragon. It is a synchro monster, so again, I have no clue how you'd actually get this out onto your field, but I like it overall as a card. I would definitely consider getting something with this power out. We'll set that one aside as just a potential playable card. You'll notice that this synchro monster, this border is a little bit darker than the rest, it appears. Don't know if that's because the background of the card is just this white synchro one. Hero Lives, we've seen that in this pack before. Battle Guard Howling. We've got another rare thrown in here, Shadow Tamer. Allow you to take control of fiend monsters. On the other side, there's some pretty powerful fiend monsters out there. Summon Skull, I think, comes in as a fiend monster. So definitely, you can get control of your opponent's monster that way. I think everyone has one of those. The Tricky. Another rare card. And another one of the Tricky. Then we have a XYZ monster, our first of that set. Again, don't know how to summon them whatsoever. This is number 104 Masquerade. We'll see the light shine just off the silver name there. Litter removal. Self-explanatory in the end. Thousand Eyes Restrict. A fusion monster. Don't know much about this. I know that Pegasus did play this in his duel with Yugi back in the anime years and years ago. Where art thou? Obviously a pun on where art thou. But very funny. You got a little dog back there. So homeboy here in the front is looking for his dog. Can't find him. Could just turn around and sort that out. Pot of Dichotomy. Again, a pot card, not the one that anybody wants. Pot of Greed being obviously the end-all be-all in that category. Onikuji. Only thing I want to really say about this looks like Dende from Dragon Ball. All right, we've got another rare monster here. This is DDD Oblivion at King Abyss Ragnarok. He's a pendulum monster. Again, new feature to the game since the last time that I played and was familiar with it. Looks like some sort of throne. He's sitting maybe on the Iron Throne. Who knows? But probably some sort of reference to Ragnarok, which is the beginning of the end in in Norse mythology. And if you've seen Thor Ragnarok, you're familiar kind of with that. It looks like that solder monster. Ooh, dark contract with errors. You never want to have an error in a contract. That'll come back and get you. Lawyers won't let you be. The Great Owl Eagle. All right, I think it's always funny when you get two back-to-back to the same monster. Fluff all wings. Go ahead and shuffle our pile a little bit better there. A Miracle Synchro Fusion lets you remove from play from your side of the field to the graveyard a fusion monster listed on a fusion monster card that lists a synchro monster as fusion material. There's a lot of fancy conditions there. Could be useful in a deck. Again, if you're playing synchro monsters, that's probably more so for you. We got a rare Blade Fly. I remember packing a bunch of these back in the day. This was like one of the most common rares I think I ever ended up getting. Again, it's a little bit of a letdown when you pull a rare card out of a pack and it's got 600 attack, and you know it's 2-star monster, and you can't really do much with it. You know, you get a 500 point boost to attack for wind monsters, decrease of 400 on earth, but what's that really going to get you unless you're packing something on the wind side that's powerful, and a lot of your wind monsters aren't, you know, sitting there with 3,000 attack. We got 2 fish depth charge. I guess doesn't look like we're blowing fish up with a depth charge. It looks like they're just zooming upwards. Ambush predation. Remote revenge. Equip shot. Looks like this should be a monster, but it's a trap card. The unrare version of Card Destruction. This came out of the Yugi starter deck, I believe. Everyone knows what this one does. Another Yugi starter deck monster, Dian Keto, the Cure Master. Always good to have one of these in. Don't know how banned they are, if there's a limit on most of these cards under the limited monster reborn, but packing up 1,000 extra life points, slip 3 of these in your deck, you got some help there. So we're getting all our Yugi starter deck cards now. It looks like Malevolent Nuzzler again. Fissure. All right, we're nearing the end here of the pile, so we'll just zoom through these. Fiend Reflection, we've got a couple of these. Twin-headed Fire Dragon, got a pair of those. Flame Champion, another one of these goofy basic insects. Again, not a lot you can do about that. Mammoth Graveyard, got a pair of those. Oh, we got a trifecta. Silver Fang, little howling wolf. The thumb-sucking little shrimp mermaid creature, Nimoriko, probably based off of some sort of Japanese legend. And the Dark King of the Abyss to wrap up this bundle of 100 cards. So all in all, I think not a bad set of rares that we picked up in that. Again, for $10 for this pack, I don't think you can really argue too much and say it's not worth it. We got a handful of rares, probably 12 to 15 or so here among the lot. Plus we picked up 4 ultra rare cards or better. The Super All-In Galaxy Worm, Appliancer Kappa Scale, and Magician of Black Chaos Max. I think when you're talking cards overall, $10 for 4 good rares, 2 packs basically worth of cards, or worth of rare packs. You got, you're gonna run you $5 a pack pretty much everywhere in the States, and you picked up, 4 good cards and a handful of rares. All right, so that's in our first set. We'll cut the video here, and then we'll open up the second set here in a moment, and we'll upload that as a second video, but we'll see if we can top this set of cards. Catch you on the next video. Take care.